Fanfic Corner, presented by Animal Girl. A Dragon Named Chili Pepper, Chapter 1, written and read by Animal Girl. Chili Pepper always knew that he was different from the other dragons. First off, he was a lot smaller. Most dragons were the size of a house, or bigger, but Chili Pepper was the size of a house cat. Second, while most dragons were fierce, Chili Pepper was timid. He was always too afraid to defend his territory from another dragon or do battle with a knight. But he did have one thing going for him. What he lacked in size, he made up for in brains. Chili Pepper was a lot smarter than the other dragons, and not just by the standards of animals. Chili Pepper was also book smart. While most dragons could speak the native language of the country they lived in, Chili Pepper could speak fluent English, Spanish, Greek, Italian, Chinese, Japanese, Latin, Scottish, and Irish, as well as his native French. He was also interested in geography, mythology, theology, and history, spending hours in his cave reading up on the subjects. Most dragons sought out gold, silver, and precious jewels to add to their ever-growing hoards. Chili Pepper sought out knowledge, scrolls, and books. He had met with and studied under some of the most learned men in Europe and Asia, and had even been down to Egypt a few times to learn the history of the pharaohs, pyramids, and the Great Sphinx. In his travels, he had made many friends among the different creatures and a few humans. Many scholars found him to be a great student, always eager to learn and curious about everything there was to know about the world and beyond it. Many of the creatures loved to hear his stories of his time with the humans and what he learned from them, thus allowing him to pass his knowledge on to them. But his greatest adventure was yet to begin. Chili Pepper had just settled down in his cave for the night. He had found an ancient text on the Roman Empire and was eager to start reading it. Suddenly, someone called for him from outside the cave. Grumbling, he hit the book down and went to see who it was. It was rare that he got any visitors. Coming to the entrance, he found a large wolf. Right away, he knew that it wasn't a regular wolf, but a paranormal wolf, and one that he knew well. "What can I do for you, Hunter?" Chili Pepper asked. "We thought we would stop by," Hunter said. "We?" Chili Pepper repeated. A griffin, a fairy, and a centaur came into view. All three were young, like Hunter, and all four loved to stop by and hear Chili Pepper's stories. "Sky, Wisp, Aries," Chili Pepper greeted each in turn. "Shouldn't the four of you be at home? It's getting late." "We were hoping for a lesson," Sky the Griffin said. "Yeah, please," said Aries the centaur. "A lesson on the history of the Orient," said Wisp the fairy. "Fine," Chili Pepper said. He was always happy to pass on the knowledge he had gained to eager students. "Follow me and stay close. You know there are lots of twists and turns in a dragon's lair, making it easier to get lost, and my lair is no exception." The four young creatures stuck close to the little dragon as they made their way through the tunnels of Chili Pepper's lair. As dragon lairs go, Chili Pepper's was small, about the size of a gold mine. Dragons prefer much larger lairs to accommodate their massive size. However, Chili Pepper's was just right for him, small enough for him to reach and store his things, but big enough for his students to comfortably fit in. When they reached Chili Pepper's living area, the dragon curled up in his favorite chair in front of the fire, while his four students settled down in front of him. "Now then," Chili Pepper said, "the history of the Orient." The lesson ran late into the night, so late that Chili Pepper allowed Aries, Hunter, and Sky, and Wisp to stay in a few of the caves he had set up for just such a case. When morning came, the 5 friends said goodbye, and Chili Pepper saw them off, hoping that they wouldn't get into too much trouble with their elders for being out all night. He had just finished straightening up after the lesson when he heard the sound of running paws, talons, and hooves coming towards him, and several someones calling out his name. Turning, he saw Aries, Hunter, Sky, and Wisp coming towards him, looking frightened. "Guys, what's wrong?" Chili Pepper asked. "It's the others," Sky said. "The centaurs, the werewolves, the fairies, the griffins, the dragons, all the mythical and paranormal creatures are gone." Okay, a few things I'd like to touch on before I sign off on this video. First off, if you would like to read this or any of my other fanfics, you can go to my Wattpad account or page and find them there. I will have the link for that in the description section. Also, if you are a fanfic writer and you would like to have me do a reading of one of your fanfics, or you know someone who is a fanfic writer and they would like me to do a reading of one of their fanfics, you can send it to me at my Tumblr or Tumblr account or Facebook page. I will have the links for those in the description section. A couple of things on that point I would like to touch on. First off, please be sure to include your name or the name of the author who wrote the fanfic. Now, I don't care if it's your actual name or a name you go by online. I just need someone to credit. If there is no one to credit on the fanfic, I won't be doing the reading. Secondly, and these last two, please note I am not trying to tell people how to do their writing. There's just a couple of things I want to touch on. If the reading is long, I will be dividing it up into sections, like I do with my fanfics where I have chapters. Or if the chapter in and of itself is too long, I will break it up into parts. I may have to do that with a couple of my fanfics too, as a few of them are running long. This is due to the fact that my video camera only records up to 33 minutes. Also, try to keep it clean. If there's any parts or words that are inappropriate for children, I will either gloss over them or clean them up to the best of my ability. And if there's too much or I'm unable to really gloss over or clean it up, I just won't do a reading on that chapter or that short or that fanfic or short story or one shot or whatever has been submitted. As I say in my talk videos and my top favorite videos and whatnot, kids may be watching these videos and I just don't want them hearing anything inappropriate or reading anything appropriate, okay? Lastly, and this is the most important one for those of you who are submitting fanfics, be honest. If I learn that a fanfic was written by someone else and they did not give permission to someone to submit that fanfic, I will not only remove that fanfic in any Fanfic Corner video and any other Fanfic Corner video corresponding with that video, but I will also not accept any fanfics from the sender.